cut that half there with the old Grasstopper. Mower versus Grasstopper. I don't know what's going on here. So what we're going to do now is get the tractors out and get the Grasstopper on, give it a little bit of a service, get it set up, and also I want to get the mower out, the little drum mower now, not the big mower. What I want to do is I want to cut half the field with the mower, and I want to cut the other half of the field with the Grasstopper. 4 cylinders stuck in here. And what I want to do is I want to see which one works best. So it'll be an interesting little experiment. So I'll get more into that when I get down to the field and get them on. But for now, I need to get, I'll probably put the Grasstopper on the 165. So get the 165 out and put the mower on the old 590 or the 390T. Anyway, so I'll get these out of here and get the other bits of kit on. I think these bits of kit are quite well buried in here. If I remember right. They are quite well buried in here. But this stuff has to come out anyway because it's coming up to silage time, and right, I thought this is going to be easy, but this is not going to be easy. You can see the Grasstopper here. That's going to be not too bad to get out. The mower is there. That's got to go out. Behind that is the old rake thing that we have. That's got to come out. And then the mower is in behind that again. And there's 2 slurry pumps as well. This might take a bit of time. Anyway, I'll get stuck into it, see what we can get done. Right, I think I have the front of that cleared enough to get that out now. So we'll go get the, I think probably put in 3075, pull that out and set it in the field because that'll need to come out in the next couple of weeks. It'll need to be serviced anyway. And yeah, good. Right, have the mower on the 390T because as you can see the link box is on the 3075 and on the back of the link box is my parts for the Massey 24 chisel plough. So anyway, there we go. So the mower's on, and instead of digging this mower out of way in the back here, yeah, I'm not going to dig that out today. We'll use that mower because it's the same experiment. Now I need to dig this old bus out. Right, so have the old LSM Grasstopper on to do a bit of a clean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop these skid units down so to lower the height, grease it, oil it, etc, etc. So let's get into it. Right, here we go. So I've got the 165 with the old Grasstopper, and I've got the 390T with the Kuhn 250 mower. That's an 8-foot mower. So what I'll do is I'll cut half this field, right? So I'll cut that half there with the old Grasstopper, and I'll cut the other half, this half, with the mower behind me, and then we'll see which one does a better job today, and then we'll let it grow, and we'll see which half of the field grows back better. So what's the best way to top a field? That's basically what we're looking at. So Kuhn mower versus Grasstopper. Now let me switch the camera over. Particular fan of these old things, because to adjust them for a start you have to undo all these bolts, and there has to be an easier way. But also the blades are in below. It's just like a big, I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, but it's just like a big lawnmower in there. Yeah, it's hard to see, but yeah, there's a big blade in there, just like a big lawnmower blade, and it's adjusted down as probably as low as I can get it without it hitting the top of the field. So that is the 165 and the LSM. It doesn't matter the make, they're all the same thing, versus 390T and the Kuhn. Right, okay, so what I've done is I've cut half the field with the mower, and now I'll cut the other half with the 165, which is over here. 165's here. But first, I'm gonna go get a cup of tea. So I'll come back after tea, and we'll get the 165 and the old topper going, and see how we get on. Right. I don't know what's going on here, but water absolutely peeing out of everywhere. I must have a burst pipe. I don't know where. That's a bit of a disaster. Right, well, that's the Grasstopper over for this evening with the 165 anyway. It's a bit of a bollocks. Right, I'll go and get some water, put it in her, take her up into the yard and dump her off. Get the 168. Right, that was a bit of a disaster. 165 is boiling up and I don't really know why. Might be burst of pipe or something, but I'm not going to tinker with it tonight. I'll go up and toss this more off in the oat midden and that'll leave it ready because Dad wants to get through it. A couple of things to go through it, so it's smooth concrete surface, so drop it off there, bring this down, put the Grasstopper on this and put the 165 up in the shed. I say we don't have time to look at it at the minute, so anyway, right, onwards. Never a dull moment. It's a bit slow. Well, we still got a bit of daylight, I suppose. Oh, 165, let me down again. Anyway, you can see the difference in how the Grasstopper cuts it compared to the Mower. The Mower just takes it that bit lower. Takes it right out, actually. Has it like a little lawn there. So, cutting ways, definitely the Mower does a tidier job. The Grasstopper kind of leaves little bits as well. You know, it's just. Anyway, let's get these swapped over and finish the feed off. There we go. Field done. This half over here done with the mower. This half over here done with the topper. So we'll chase a couple of cows out tomorrow and the old evil wolves knocking about somewhere. We'll hunt them out and that'll be that done. But yeah, definitely looks like the side that was done with the mower is a much tidier job. It would be, of course it would be, because it cuts lower, but it's cutting right, them rushes right down to, and look at that, you play cricket in that, or hurling, or whatever you like to play. Yeah, nice sky over there. Anyway, there we go. So that's the field finished. I'll go, I'm gonna put this in. Right, there we go. Field done. We'll put the 390T in. I don't know if we'll keep that topper on her actually, because she won't be on that. So maybe take that off, and I've got to go there 165 up again. So anyway, right, I'll put this in the shed. Right, 390T is in the side over there, so do in there, because I want to keep the old Grasstopper on. There's more grass topping to be done. Yeah, you can stay in there with that on her, and put the rest of them in. I need to go and get the 165 now. The joys of running old tractors, old classics, never a dull moment. And the disappointing thing is that we get that radiator redone whenever, now I don't know if it's a radiator, I'm just surmising. It's possibly a burst hose, because we didn't replace the hoses, but the hoses were pretty good. Which means is I'm going to have to take the bonnet off again and then run it and see where it's pushing out the water, which is a bit of a pain. And we're a couple of weeks off silage season. Not that the 165 is used in silage season, because dirt on my face, you think I was in the coal mines? Oh my god. Yeah, so the 165 is not really used in the silage season, although saying that is used in the hay, because we put it on the hay turner. We do have the 168 for that though, so I'm going down now, see if I can rescue the 165, bring it up. It's cooled down, the engine's cold now, so there is some water. I have a wee bit of water beside it, I'll put it in, and it should be enough to drive the 100 yards up into the farmyard, so be grand. Yeah, disappointing that 165 letting me down again. Oh, my battery's about to end as well. 165 is in there now. Maybe get a chance to pull the bonnet off. I'll let my dad see it first, but maybe get a chance to pull the bonnet off over the week and see what's going on there. I hope it's just a burst hose and not the radiator gone again, because that radiator was done up the last time, as I said. And if that's gone again, well then the chap who did it will be getting it back rather quickly. These guards are back in the shed again, and 390T's up on the top side, so yeah, they're all in there. So that's the end of that. Hopefully we'll come back in a couple of weeks and we'll check and see how the grass went, cutting one half with the mower and one half with the Grasstopper. So yeah, we'll pick that up. Right, it's been 3 or 4 weeks, can't remember, roughly, since we cut this field, half of the field with the Grasstopper and the other half with the mower. So back down the field now, just to see the results and kind of see how we got on. Now, it is kind of hard on the camera here to kind of pick it up, but just to remind you, this half, which is this side of the field, which is, I'm going to call it the right hand side, is or was cut with the mower, so it was cut really low. And the other half, which is this side over here, was cut with the Grasstopper. Now, on the camera it is hard to see, but the side that was cut with the mower does look to have a little bit more body about it. The grass itself, I'm not going to say it's any greener, but it just looks to have a little bit more grass on it rather than this side. Now remember that this side was cut quite low and this side wasn't, so I think there's maybe 3-4 inches of difference. Well, hardly be as much as that, probably about 3 inches of difference in the cut. One thing noticeable is that the old rushes here have, when you cut them low, it seems to stem them a bit than on this side over here, where they were cut, where they were topped really, rather than cut. So that certainly seems to be a way of controlling them, is to cut them low. So that's one thing we've learned. But definitely, chatting to Adrian over an iFarm We Farm on the comments, and Adrian's a great fan of the Mower, and he said that you won't beat the Mower for the aftergrowth, for the new grass coming through. And I have to say, having done this experiment, and I know it's hard to see in the camera, but the grass cut by the Mower would be better than what we cut with the Grasstopper. So Adrian, I agree with you. The Mower is a better job than the Grasstopper. And just to see if I can give you a little bit of a look at the grass. Right, there's the grass that we've done with the Mower. Now, it has been a terrible growing. This is the end of June now, and it has been a terrible growing June. It's just been cold, and there's been a few good days, of course, but yeah, that's the side done with the Mower. I'll go over here. This is the side done with the Grasstopper. Now, it's very hard to, there is a little bit of a line, but I don't think the camera will pick it up, but I don't know if you can see that. There's just a little line running kind of down that way. Yeah, it's hard to pick up, but I think the side done with the Grasstopper, I don't know if you can pick that up, but give you an idea of the growth. Yeah. I'll go back over here. Compare and contrast. A bit done with it more. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but on the camera it's hard to tell, but definitely from the naked eye, the grass that we did with the Mower is a little bit thicker. It just looks better on this side. Right, folks, there you go. That's it. That's a conclusion of the Grasstopper versus the Mower, with the Mower being the winner. I wouldn't say it was head and shoulders, but I think the weather hasn't permitted growth here. June has been cold, and I think that has played in it a little bit. But for sure, the side done with the Mower is definitely better than the side done with the Grasstopper. So I think we've all learned something today. Well, something Adrian already knew, but anyway, yeah, that's it. So that's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a good old thumbs up, please, if you can, and hit the sub button. We'll be back next week with some other shenanigans, God knows what. But for now, take care. Bye bye.